Welcome back to the channel. Today got a special video. Got Aaron from Cousins Fishing. We've been talking about this idea for a while, but we finally decided to do it. We're doing kind of a buyer's guides. It's kind of turning more into our top 5 favorite rods of the season and 5 favorite reels. And we'll talk about the braid and fluoro that we use on said rods. Today is going to be a rod and reel video. Tomorrow is going to be our top 5 hard baits and soft baits from the season. And then next week, I'm just going to be doing by myself a storage video and a couple other videos for buyer's guides. In the description, I'll have Tacklewarehouse, American Legacy, l.omeara, every company I can think of that might be running Black Friday deals, so you guys can purchase this stuff at a discounted rate. I know American Legacy has Dobbins rods right now for $25. I think they have Shimano and Daiwa as well for $25. So a lot of good deals. So we're going to hop into it. We got a nice assortment. I mean, specifically mine, I go from $100 rods to $350. Aaron goes from like 110 to...
Yeah, it's not that crazy.
280 is the X price.
Something like that. So
decent amount. So we still have low end rods and low high end rods. Same for reels. My reels go from 100 to 200. And I think Aaron's about the same, 100 to 200. So nice assortment. But this is what we're using out of our boat. This is not what we decided to buy, make a video of. This is out of our boats. What we use in the tournaments videos all year on Wednesday nights and just play videos. But of course, get everything out of the way. We're not sponsored by anybody, no tackle companies, warehouses, nothing. So this is all stuff we bought from our own money. We do wait for sales, but we try to buy everything we can. So we're gonna start low end rods and go all the way up. First rod up I got for this season. I bought it late last year. There's actually an unboxing video of it. It's the Dobbins Maverick. I didn't really enjoy the Colt series. They're actually discontinuing it. But the Maverick series starts at $100. Mitsubishi Blank Sea Guides is the guides, and they got EVA handles. It's like every other Dobbins rod. They come out with like 20 different models. So not as complex as the Champions, but they got everything from your standard finesse jig rod, buzzbait rod, frog rod, crank rod. My main rod I like of the Maverick series is the 733. I also own the 734 and 703. But because I do own higher end Dobbins rods, the Maverick series has been more of a topwater rod for me or movement bait rod. Mine are usually paired with braid, and I usually just throw buzz baits throughout the season. But you can definitely use this as a bomb contact rod. Just remember, it is a $100 rod. So if you're going to compare it to a high end X-Pride Champ, it's not going to be as sensitive. But they're really good rods overall. They're really built well. So at that $100 price point, or sales right now, you can get them for 75, 80 bucks. So at that price point, they're really good. I don't know if they're as good as the SLX or Daiwas because I've not used them, but they are very, very solid rods for that $100 price point.
I'm going to go with my first one. It is the Falcon Lowrider series. This specific one is the Cranker 2. Yeah, it's the Cranker 2. It's a medium heavy mod fast crankbait rod. Personally, I think it's one of the more underrated rods. I don't hear a lot of people talk about Falcon in general, much less the Cranker 2. As you can see, this is like a 12-foot diving bomber crankbait. I love this rod. Early spring, it was like February or March when they were eating crankbaits in that 10-foot range. I was drilling them on this rod. So I absolutely love the Falcon rods, especially the Lowrider for like the $130 price point. I did look. Tacklewarehouse does not have them on sale, or they're not included in the sale, so they are still 130 bucks.
Academy will probably run some kind of sale.
It wouldn't surprise me, yeah. I'm sure you could find them on sale somewhere, but for 130 bucks, I even think it's worth that. Like I said, this is the 7.6 medium heavy Cranker 2. The other one that I like, I used to have it, I don't own it anymore. It's the 7.3 heavy jig rod, but it's more of like a chatterbait rod. It's a really good chatterbait rod. But for 130 bucks, you can't go wrong with those.
So my next 2 rods in the Dobbins line are at the same price point, $190, but they do 2 different things. But the next rod up is the Dobbins Sierra. I don't own a ton of these because most of them, even the casting is split handle. I prefer full, but I have found a lot of the rods in the Caton line that just kind of fit my needs. But this specific model is the Sierra 703. Gary Dobbins doesn't talk about like what the module blank is. He just says high module blank. So I don't know exactly what tonnage it is. But they go back to Fuji guides on them. Overall, the Sierras are slightly softer tip section. So the 703 Pacific is what I use for Ned rigs and wacky rigs, and I argue it is the best wacky rig rod on the market just because I don't lose a lot of fish. But the Sierras are kind of a staple. A lot of people use it for chatterbaits like the 734, but the rod I've personally used from the Sierra and really enjoyed is a 703. But they have a flipping stick. There's no crankbait rods in the lineup, and they have some cranking and spinning rods at like 6'8". So you can do a jerk bait, shorter rods if you're a bank angler. So a lot of different techniques you can use in the Sierra line.
Cool. So my next one, again, another one that I don't really hear a whole lot of people talk about. It's the Powell Endurance Liner rods. I've had this specific rod for, I think it's like going on 4 years now. It used to be my frogging rod, but now it's pretty much my do everything rod. This one's the 724C. So it's a 7.2 heavy casting rod. I did look on Tacklewarehouse. They're running the sale till I think the 11th. It is included in the sale. So retail for these is like 150, I think. Right now you can get them for 120, which is crazy. It's ridiculous. I put these up there with like the Dobbins, like the mid-tier Dobbins rods. It wouldn't surprise me if they're made in the same factory too, because I mean even the
lettering,
even the wording on here is the same as Dobbins rods. But yeah, it's I compare it to Dobbins because it's one of those smaller companies. Dobbins just got bought out. Powell has not been bought out. They're still just a mom and pop company. They've been around for like 25 years, I think, and they've always made good rods. So I'm excited to see what they come out with next, but the Powell Endurance, I highly recommend it. It's a great rod.
Update to the Tacklewarehouse rod sale. It goes to the 22nd.
22nd.
Looked it up, so we can verify. But I'll have all those linked below description-wise. My next model, which Aaron absolutely hates, but it's one of my favorite models, is the Dobbins Caden. For whatever reason, I line up with these so well, maybe just because I caught a lot of fish, so it's probably just a confidence thing. But Pacific, the favorite model, if it's the first time you've ever watched my channel, it's the Dobbins Champion, or Dobbins Caden, sorry, 734 CB. My humble opinion, it's the greatest crankbait rod from 10 foot and shallower. I absolutely love that thing. It's pool noodle enough in the tip for you to cast everything, but loads and they just don't come off. But the Dobbins Caden line, I really do enjoy a lot. I have a lot of their rods. To me, the Caden line is really good for movements. If you want to do anything movement rods and you don't feel like spending champion or extreme money, the Caden line at 190 is so good. That one, the 744C casting rod, is absolutely phenomenal, from throwing mag drafts to throwing chatterbaits on it. And both the spinning rods, 712, 713, is absolutely incredible. They do have a crappie rod in that lineup. I think it's a 700 or a 710 or something like that. And they came out with travel rods this year in the Caden line. They're 4 pieces. And they got it in, I think, all 3 of the casting, the shorter rods, and they came out with swim bait rods in a travel series in the Caden line. So it's pretty incredible. Still high module blanks. They're all Kevlar wrap, and they go back to the C guides. I really like those C guides. I have messed up the Fuji guides on the Champ and Extreme series. I have yet to mess up a C guide, so I don't know if they're a lot stronger. The inserts are better, can't tell you, but I have not broke a guide or bent a guide yet or insert on any of the C guides, but I've definitely messed up on the Fuji. But Caden, to my opinion, is the most underrated one in the line. I think it's very good for the money, and especially right now with American Legacy, you get them for 135, 140 bucks. Even at that price point, there is no rod that price point that beats it. So Caden is very well good.
I mean, I might think about buying one for 135 bucks. All right, so moving on. Another one that not a whole lot of people talk about. This is, I don't even know what the brand of the rod is. FX Extreme Custom rods?
FX Extreme or F Extreme or something.
FX Extreme Custom rods. So this particular one, it's a spinning rod. It's a 7 foot medium. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just got forward facing sonar put on my boat, and this is gonna be my like,
oh yeah,
strolling rod, I guess. 7 foot medium fast.
Chuck Berry rig.
Chuck Berry rig.
Oh yeah.
It's honestly, Tacklewarehouse just started carrying these like maybe a year ago. They're still pretty new.
But they changed a lot. They're not cork anymore. They got rid of micro guides.
That's true.
A bunch of stuff.
But this particular one is a 40-ton blank. I think it's a Torre 40-ton blank, and they kept the blank on the newer ones. They have wing grips. They don't have cork on the newer ones, but this is the Extreme Angler series. So this is like their entry level rod. I think they retail for like 190 bucks, but I did look today and Tacklewarehouse does have them on sale, so you can get them around 150-ish. And for that, I think it's an amazing rod. I actually bought this one used off Facebook Marketplace in pretty much brand new condition like 3 years ago for $50. So, I mean, for $50, I'm absolutely in love with it, but I wouldn't mind paying $150 or $200 for it either. This is a great one, and they also make a 7.2 medium extra fast that I've really had my eye on for like a stupid tube rod. So that might be in the future, but for $150, you can't go wrong with these.
Now, 7.2 medium casting or spitting?
7.2 medium casting, extra fast.
Now it's time to jump up in price points. This is where I get all my bomb contact stuff in. Prime example, if you do not go past Cadence, you will never understand the sensitivity difference, the Champ Extreme, X-Pride, GCX. You're never going to know it. If you just stay at that line, you'll never understand how big of a jump the sensitivity is just going to 260, 280, or Extreme 360. So if you stay at Cadence, you'll never, or that $200 price point, you'll never realize it. But once you make that jump, it's really hard to go back one step, $50, into that sensitivity for bottom contact. So next is Gary Dobbins' brainchild, baby, whatever you want to call it. It's the original Champion Champion XP. They've changed it, I think, once since the original, and I think all they did was change the graphite, maybe who made it or whatever, and the guides. They went from Keegan guides back to Fuji. Champion line has every option you can think of. I think they have 5,000 rods in that setup. Everything from, I mean, you can probably think of a technique or a bait or something, and they have a rod.
Literally everything.
They make crankbait rods, 20 different crankbait rods, casting rods, spinning rods. They got swim bait series, flipping, frogging. Champions are kind of more my bottom contact. There is a few models, like the 733. I love it for chatterbaits. That's a 744. That's the jig rod special, and there's a reason. It's a really good jig rod, heavy, extra fast. But they got a swim bait rod. They got rods used for A-rigs that I use. You guys saw the 764 the last couple of weeks. There's too many models in the Champion to talk about what are my favorites, least favorites. There's just so many. You guys seen I had a 762 spinning rod. Aaron has it now. He's got a 732 now. So Champion, it's really hard to kind of talk on top of everything because everyone knows about the Champion line, and it's just a absolute incredible rod once you want to start working on bottom contact baits for that extra sensitivity.
So one thing I want to touch on with the Champions too, like you mentioned, the 732, that's probably one of my favorite spinning rods. It's close with this FX Extreme, but the 732, it's actually the Extreme
old
Champion.
Blank. The old Extreme blanks.
Old Extreme blanks, which, like you said, I have the 762 and I have the 732. They're completely different rods. The 762 is a lot more stout, so I'll fish like Ned rigs and stuff with that. The 732, I can throw like 1/8 swim baits and bomb them. It's awesome. They're completely different rods. The 732 is ridiculously sensitive. So if you want that old Extreme blank for the Champion price, 732 spinning is the way to go. All right, cool. I'm going to talk again.
Yeah.
So my next one is the G Loomis GCX. Let me try not to break this. Loomis GCX. This is the, here we go. This is the 843 CBR.
That's embarrassing.
You take it.
Jesus Christ. I'm out of frame.
That's all right. All right, cool. So the next one we have up is the G Loomis GCX 843 CBR. So it's a 7-foot mod fast crankbait rod, a 7-foot medium mod fast. It's awesome. So I was in the process of trying to find a 1.0 square bill rod for like the last 2 years, and I probably cycled through 5 or 6 crankbait rods that I didn't feel like they did a good enough job for the 1.0 square bills until I landed on this one. This is like ridiculously whippy. It is so
Pool noodle.
It's a pool noodle. I think, yeah, you have one too.
Oh my god.
They're great rods.
Yeah.
For $260. It's a little hard to swallow, so I think I got this one on sale. Like American Legacy was having a sale or something like that, and I couldn't pass it up. But yeah, this is not included on American Legacy right now. It's not included on Tacklewarehouse, but American Legacy has these like little surprise pop-up sales every once in a while. So if you keep your eye out, you can snag one of these for a good deal. But if you're a 1.0 square bill or a small square bill fisherman like myself, this is an awesome rod, and it's never going to leave my collection.
My last and final rod is the most expensive rod I own in my lineup. It's Dobbs Champion Extreme HP series. I don't know all the stuff they did, changing from the old Extremes to the new. I know there's a blank difference, color difference, wrapping, blah, 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 blah. I have, just for record, I have never paid full price for any of my Extremes. I got them on sales, or they give you a gift card value back, so I don't count it as full price. But once again, these are Dobbs specifically. They have a community page, and I got most of my Extremes for under $300, and they're over $350 rod. But when you jump from Champion to Extreme, that $80, $100, there's a legit reason. That thing is stupid light, stupid sensitive. I mean, you expect it being $340, $360 rod, but it's absolutely incredible how much advancement technology goes from 250, 260 to a 350, 360 rod. I don't know a ton of them because they are expensive, but I have a 746. I broke a 745, cork's up there. Broke it on a just piss poor hand hook setting. So, but that's a good example because I broke it on myself. I broke it. I messed up. Most companies tell you to screw off, buy a new one for 360. I literally just cut off my info off that rod, shipped it into Dobbins, paid, I think with shipping, $95, and I had a brand new Champion Extreme at my door from my mistake. They understand shit's gonna happen. I hook set on a log, thinking it was a fish, and broke it on the hook set because I hit it so hard. But I've owned 745, which is an awesome all-purpose bottom cutter. The 746, it's technically a flipping rod, so I use it for more just flipping around cover, but it's still, even being a 6 power, is so sensitive, very strong. And I got 2 of the spinning rods. There's just too much to talk about the Extreme. They're really good for the price. It's just sometimes a little hard to swallow. But American Legacy has a used section, like Aaron talked about the GLX. You can get them on there. They run sales on the used departments. You can probably get some for $250, $260, and just on the secondary market on Facebook Marketplace. But American Legacy got them for $25. They usually run a spring sale. You buy 2 for 35% off. So just wait for a sale if you're going to jump to Extreme Series, because they will be on sale eventually, and it's just kind of hard to really swallow $350 for a rod.
So let's talk about my expensive rod.
For now.
So the next one is, I guess the last one, is going to be the Shimano X-Prod. I'm sure everybody's heard of the X-Prod before. It's probably one of the best rods ever made. This particular one is a 7.2 heavy. It's my frogging rod. Here in the Midwest, we don't have a ton of big fish, so I'm not too concerned about using like an extra heavy rod or anything. This one does the job perfectly fine. I usually throw half-ounce frogs on this one specifically. I also have a 7.2 medium heavy. That's my stupid tube rod also. So I love the X-Prod line. There's not really a whole lot to say about it. I think I won at least 2 Wednesday nighters on this specific rod, so it's paid for itself a couple times. But yeah, I think I got this one for like $150 off American Legacy's used section. So what, half the price of a new one? So again, I know we keep talking about it, but if you haven't checked out like American Legacy's used section or even the sales on Tacklewarehouse, now's a great time to be buying some more expensive fishing stuff, but you don't have to pay the expensive price.
Yeah, once again, we're not sponsored by them. We're just telling you what we spend our money at and how we save $1. Because if we paid full price, I would not own as many Champions Extremes I own. I wouldn't probably own as many Cadens I own. And same for Aaron, his X-Prize. When I got text message from him saying, I grabbed his X-Prize for $160. Good deal, good deal. So next we're gonna talk about our reels. We got 5 each, kind of same price point going from low to high. I did throw in a curveball with a specific reel. We'll get to that when we get there, and I'll kind of explain why I thought it was kind of a curveball. So let's start. Funny thing is, me and Aaron's $100 reels are exactly the same, but both of ours are the Gen 2 now, Lew's LFSs. He doesn't have the little grips. I love these little wind grips. They make the handle so much better, and they're like $8. But there's not enough to say about the LFS. It's always been said. They're on Generation 3 now, which comes out, I think, later this month, which I'll probably pick up. But they're an awesome reel. They hold up really, really well. They're magnetic braking, so it's really good for newer users. Magnetic braking doesn't matter if you have it on full or low. It's braking. It's just they're magnets, and it just depends on how close that spool is to the magnets. But they're awesome reel for the buddy. they hold up. This one's like 4 or 5 years old. I think Aaron's a couple years old. And like I said, they're $100. I think Tacklewarehouse, I don't know if they still have them on sale, but they had them down to like $70. So you partner this up with a lowrider or a Maverick, and you're under $200 for a brand new combo that you're going out and you're going to be enjoying for multiple years.
So, okay, we hit on the $100 reel. The good news is I brought a couple $100 reels.
Perfect.
So I'm just going to talk about the SLX. This is the first generation SLX. They just came out with a second gen, which is even better than this one. But it's a $100 reel. These were on sale for like $75 for a while as the outgoing model. Even the new ones for $100, you can't beat it in my opinion. I know Logan loves the LFS. I really like mine too, but I don't think I don't know. It's just a workhorse to me. I've owned like 10 of these total in the last 5 years, and I've never had one quit on me. I love this reel. I love that it's got the clicking drag. I love that it's got the nice spool tension. The oversized handle is a big one. I know Logan was talking about the grips on his handle. I don't have to worry about that because it's got the oversized handle and it's got nice grips on it. So $100, in my opinion, you can't go wrong with the SLX. The new SLXA is even better than this, so you can't go wrong.
Now we get to the part where Logan starts to like Shimano because he hates the SLX base model. But now we're in the SLX MGL. I own Gen 1 and the A's, and for $150, it's honestly probably one of the best bait casters on the market. This year specifically, I have fallen in love with the 70 size reels. I own 3 now between the 2 SLXs and a Corrado MGL 70. And they do cast lighter baits well because that's what everyone talks about with the MGLs. But at the end of the day, it is a 70 size spool. So 16-pound fluoro is 40 yards, 50 yards, something like that. So if you do backlash, you're only wasting 40, 50 yards. A normal SLX, a Corrado, 150, 200 yard spools, you blow that up, there's a whole spool of line that you have now ruined. This one I can re-spool 3 or 4 times if I blow it up. But if it's windy out, calm, it doesn't matter. This thing slings them, very usable, really easy to skip. But at that $150 price point, it's kind of hard at this point to me in a casting reel, kind of hard to beat the SLX 70A. Can't really find the old gens, but the new gen's pretty much the main difference from the old gen, new gen. They went to MGL3, which they brought down from Titanium and Bantam down, and they put Silent Tune, which all Silent Tune is on your spool shaft. You'll see 2 little O-rings on there, bushings, whatever you want to call it, and all that does is keep your spool from wobbling, so it increases casting distance and makes your reel a little bit more smooth.
Cool. All right, last $100 reel for me. I'm going to jump to spinning. Do you care?
That's what my next one's going to be.
Cool. Okay. So this is the Shimano Noski. It's a $100 reel. Again, I think I've seen them on sale every once in a while at American Legacy for like $75. You can't beat it. It's the different, it's not the finesse line. It's more the power line for spinning reels. I know Logan's talked about that before. This is like a workhorse again. I took this to Florida, and if anybody's gone from like the Midwest down to Florida, a 2-pounder fights like a 5-pounder up here. So I put this through the ringer, catching a bunch of 2-pounders down at Okeechobee in the last couple of years, and it's held up. This is the 75. Yeah, I think it's a 75. 2500 75.
That's a big reel.
This is a 2500 HG, so it's got that high gear ratio. It's a stellar, it's crazy. Like, it's my wacky rig reel. Every time I need a little bit of power, I go for this reel. Neither of us grabbed the Mirabelle. That's another great reel by Shimano. It's more their finesse reel.
Entry-level finesse.
Entry-level finesse. But this is just like the entry-level power. And I throw it on this FX rod, and I'll throw a wacky rig all day with it. It's a great reel, and it looks good too.
So my next spinning reel is a reel, if you would have told me in January that it's my top 5 or a reel I really cannot live without of, I would have probably made fun of you. Disclaimer, I hate Arbo. I've hated Arbo for years. I've ran everything from Rockets, and I'm trying to remember what's above the Revo. I think it was like MGX or something, MGK or whatever. I hated those. I really have not liked Revo. They redid them a couple years back, and I got this one, was the Revo SX spinning rod for like $100. beginning of the year, and overall I have fallen in love with it. It's all aluminum. The spool, it doesn't matter if I'm throwing 1/16 or a wacky rig, that sumbitch is going, and it's still going, and it might hit water. But very strong because it is all aluminum, so it's pretty much the Stratic version of Revo. But it also is like 169. They don't go on sale enough, honestly, and every time I see a sale, they're always sold out. So I overall have just fallen in love with it. I haven't caught a real giant bass on it, so can't really tell you how great the drag is for doing 20-pound to 12-pound fluoro and fishing a wacky rig. I have zero issues with this. Casting Ned rigs in the spring, swim baits. No matter what I put on this, the amount of confidence I have in this thing has just increased, and I can't believe I'm gonna probably order more Revos, and it's gonna be the first time in my entire life. But this is a 3000. It's not overly heavy. I think it's like comes in like just over 7 ounces for a 3000 size reel. It's pretty good. And like I said, it's all aluminum, so I'm not gonna worry about it breaking anytime soon.
Sorry, I was trying to see. I guess Tacklewarehouse isn't doing reels yet, so we don't know if it's gonna be on
No, that was on last week. The only problem is
it?
the Tacklewarehouse changed their Black Friday. I hate it. It's now weeks. So the first week, I was trying to get these videos out fast enough, and I've been really busy at work, so I lost track of time. The reels already come and gone, but American Legacy, I think, is still doing 20%. But if not, wait till spring. Bass Pro will have their spring classic sale, and you donate a Zepco, and you get that for like 140. Like I said, I got that off of technically Facebook Marketplace as an old pro, Argo Pro. He went to a different brand, so I got it for like next to nothing. So if you do find the Revo SX, not XT, the X, the SX, if you can grab one, I would recommend it. I have honestly really fallen in love with that thing.
All right, so next I have the Daiwa Tatula 150HS, the TWS. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a Shimano guy. I know very little about Daiwa. Logan might know more about Daiwa than me, especially with some of the higher end stuff he has. But this one, I know it's an outgoing model. I know they recently redid them. I don't think they're out yet.
They are.
They are.
They got the 100.
All right, he's got one right here. Cool. So, because it's an outgoing model, American Legacy had this one on sale for like 135 bucks. So I, thought, what the hell, why not? And I've actually fallen in love with it. The oversized handle on this, it's like probably 110 millimeter handle.
100.
It's huge, and it's got some big old paddles on it too. So I get some good grip. Usually I just throw it on the 734 and I, light flip with it around some wood. It's a really great reel that I wasn't expecting it to be so good. I wasn't expecting to fall in love with it. But if they ever get more back in stock at American Legacy and they have them on sale again, I'll definitely buy some more because it feels so much better than a Corrado, in my opinion. But that's a heavy statement.
We'll fight on that statement. No.
It's a great reel for the price point.
The big difference from those and the new ones, they put SV spool in it, and Daiwa designed the 150 as like a frogging, flipping, swim bait. It's just more of a beefy reel, like Aaron said.
And I think they're more expensive now too.
Correct, they're 209 now.
Okay,
I'll be talking about the 100 in a minute, but yeah, they're like 209 now, I think. 200, 209.
Well, those retail for like what, 180, something like that?
180.
So there was a pretty substantial price jump with the new ones. So we'll see how that plays out.
So the curveball I wanted to talk about is something that we kind of already talked about: deals, prices, trying to find deals. A lot of people, including myself, will run out and go pick up the newest reels and forget about some older reels that have been working just fine for years. Beginning of the year, I picked up 3 Shimano Bantams, the 2018 models. And you're probably thinking, okay, why does it really matter? Well, I picked up all 3 of these and I didn't pay over 135 bucks for any of the 3. So I'm buying them for entry-level price, and I got a JDM made Shimano reel that's all aluminum with MGL and a lot of technology that we still see in new Corrados, new SLXs, and people in Shimano are making a big deal that, oh, this SLX got it, and the Bantams had it since the day of dinosaurs were walking around in the nations. So overall, the Bantam, in my opinion, at that price point I paid is absolutely incredible. The new ones I think are running at like $329 or $330, and probably one day I'll probably get one and do a comparison of the new version, a 2025, 2024, compared to a 2018. But overall, it's got MGL1. It's got infinity tune. It's got all the stuff that we enjoy as Shimano guys in a reel. They run great. They've been taken care of. I just do my normal greasing. Fun fact, Shimano actually still carries parts for that. So because it's technically a JDM reel that was made here, they still carry parts. So if that thing ever breaks, I break a tooth on my gear, I can call Shimano up and they'll ship me parts for a reel that's technically now 6 years old. And honestly, I don't see them dying anytime soon. And being an all aluminum reel, especially we just talked about Daiwa, all of their aluminum reels are technically going above the $200 price point. The only one staying below it is the 200 size reel. So there's not a lot of companies now making all aluminum reels at that under $200 price point. So I kind of want to throw that in there as a reel I've fallen in love with this year, and kind of explain once again that, hey, you do not have to buy the newest technology. You can get a few-year-old Bantam, few-year-old Corrado, Metanium, and you're going to be just fine for what you paid for. It's going to hold up because it's built because of what the price point it used to be. Those used to be at $300 brand new in 2018.
All right, so I guess I'll stick with the
JDM stuff.
Yeah, the older stuff.
Technically, mine was in the United States. Mine's not a true JDM like yours.
Is this true JDM?
I have no idea.
I have no idea
Sounds
either.
good. Sounds good.
But I know it's a 2019, so we're throwing it back again. He had a 2018. I'll go with the 2019. This is the Scorpion 150, and it's got the MGL spool in it. The good part about this is I've never had an MGL spool before I bought this. And I can see why Logan loves them.
You don't
so
go
much.
back. You don't go back.
It's crazy. It can sling. This is what I use on my 1.0 square bill rod, and it slings those little 1.0 crankbaits so far, and
it's crazy.
It's got the smaller handle. It's just an all-around great reel. I love it. I love the color. It's red. It's basically a Corrado.
It is.
Which is why I grabbed it. I guess the new Corrado 200s are similar. They have the MGL spool.
MGL3.
MGL3. This is MGL2, right?
2 or 1?
2 or 1.
One of them.
Well, the good news is I got this off of Amazon, brand new. I don't know why they still sell 2019 reels on Amazon, but and Amazon was running a sale when I bought it. I think I got it for like $140. So I figured, why not? It's got an MGL spool. It's a 150 size. It's a good looking reel. And I'm glad I spent the money on it because I love it a lot more than I thought I would. And for $140, again, I couldn't go wrong.
But the big thing about the Zillion, why it's not in my top 5, is because it has SV boost, and to my opinion is the greatest braking system to ever be made. It is absolutely phenomenal. Daiwa finally made the great idea of putting it in the 100 series, and they redid it this year. They took some of the technology from the redone Tatula last year. I don't know all the major things, but then they added this little kind of makes your hand get a nice thumb spot there. But them just putting SV boosts in the Tatula 100 has made this thing absolutely crazy. You guys saw the last video when I caught probably the biggest smallmouth in a long time. Yeah, I know, northern guys, it's small. I know that, okay? But I've been fishing howling winds and all that, and I'm still set to 10. I'm middle of my brakes, and I'm not backlashing this thing. This thing launches half-ounce spinner baits like it's its job, and I can turn around with a 3/8 jig, turn down like 14, and skip it all the way back. The big thing about that is because I'm leaving it higher, I have less brakes. It's so much easier to pitch in a 1/4 ounce, 1/8 ounce bait, get it to not hit the water and make a big splash and get it down there. Honestly, originally, if this reel did not come out this year, the 5th reel is going to be the Corrado M from last year. I got that in the beginning of the year and I've fallen in love with that reel, but it's a 200 size reel. I don't prefer 200 size reel. It costs more money to spool it up. It's bigger. If you backlash it, you're pulling it out for 5,000 years, and then hopefully when you reel it up, the Tatula 100, especially this new one with the SV boost, it's just incredible. Even compared to the old Tatula 150 or 100, like I still have, which has SV, if I wanted to skip, I have that thing to turn to 20 or 19 to skip it really well. This, I'm at 16 and I'm skipping a jig way in the back, a stupid tube, but way in the back. I can keep going on about this new Tatula, but I think this thing is absolutely incredible, and it kind of makes me want to go towards more Daiwa. This year I've really gone to more Shimano. It's really, really incredible how good this new Daiwa Tatula SV is. But, so that's everything. That's our top 5 rod models, our 5 reels. There's definitely rods and reels we've missed out. Dobbins, I mean, there's like 7 series, so that's mainly all I run anymore. I've gone to one brand. Not sponsored, please sponsor me. But reel wise, there's definitely some reels. Like I said, I left out my Corrado 70, but I wanted to more talk about that SLX because it's way cheaper. I know Aaron forgot to bring line, but he only uses 2 line. But the 3 lines I mainly use, my fluoro is just Sunline Sniper. Everything from 5 pound to 20 for all my techniques. Frogging is the Spiral Wire Durabraid. I switched that this year from Suffix 832 because me and Aaron noticing at 50 and 65, you'll watch the braid just slowly start to sink. Went to Durabraid, that thing sits on rod top. And I was able to drop down to 50 pound braid and not have to worry about not skipping that frog underneath a tree. Like Aaron talked about earlier with the frogging, we don't do a lot of like thick grass, super extra heavy rods, 85 pound braid. We're mainly doing skipping underneath trees. So going from a 65 to 50, a little bit smoother braid, and still being able to do that and not worry about it breaking off once at the hook is absolutely incredible. Check out that Spiral Wire Durabraid. I know Spiral Wire makes a lot of shit braid, but that Durabraid and Ultracast are 2 bright spots. But the last one, which has become my more finesse braid, is the Berkeley X9. My spinning gets 10, 20, 15. I put 20 on my Kading topwater rod. My Mavericks have got 20. If I'm doing buzzbait, I do 30. It doesn't hold the color real well, but not strength. Durability wise, it's really, really good. And it's Berkeley. You can get that shit for like 50% off on every other week on a sale. So it's really easy to get. All your Bass Pros, Walmart's probably carry it. So it's a line that you can get pretty easy.
So just real quick, I'm a pretty basic guy when it comes to line. All my spinning reels have Power Pro. This one's 15 pound braid to like a 8 pound leader. My more finessier spinning reels, those use 10 pound Power Pro to like a 6 pound leader. When it comes to frogging braid, like Logan said, we were both using the 832 and I was missing fish because it was sinking. So I actually switched to Daiwa J braid, the 4-strand, and I love that. It's 50 pounds, so it's a really small diameter. And I haven't had any problems with it. I feel like I can skip better with it too. And then finally, I only use one brand, one very specific kind of fluorocarbon. It is the Seagar Basics fluorocarbon, and I use that on all of my reels. I would usually run like 10, 12, 15, and 17. And that stuff is killer. It's 10 bucks a spool. In my opinion, it's way better than like the other cheap fluorocarbons. It doesn't feel like cheap fluorocarbon in my opinion. I know Logan's a way bigger fluorocarbon connoisseur than me, but like the basics, it does what I need. It's cheap and it hasn't failed me yet. So I'm gonna keep buying it and I love it.
That is me and Aaron's top 5 rods, reels, line, stuff like that. Hope you guys really enjoyed the video. We were kind of, like I said, on the fence of doing it. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed doing this today. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any comments, you can reach out to me, Aaron, on his cousin fishing stuff. I have all that linked on his Instagram, YouTube channel. He don't post as much anymore, but if you reach out, you comment on his videos, he will comment back. But hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, like I said, all this, everything will be in the description. I'll try to look up everyone tonight of different tackle companies and companies use sites so you guys can have everything listed. Probably won't link the rods in the kind of description. I'll probably just do the actual Tacklewarehouse and that stuff, and you guys will have to search for it. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the businesses that support me, all their contact information will be in my description. But until then, please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.